On the start.
I'm seeing.
And we are live, 2.5 Guys podcast. I'm your boy Midjay,
It's your boy Doe Stacks.
and we are here on a special Wednesday with very special guest, director Bruce Smith, B. Harrison Smith. If you don't know, he's been on our podcast a couple times. Leslie Big Les Seeger, everyone should know her, and Miss Claudia Jordan. How are you guys doing?
Amazing. Thank you.
Let's go. We are excited to have you guys on here. You guys have something special coming out tomorrow, which is the upcoming horror film Trope, streaming on BET Plus starting tomorrow. Is that midnight or sometime in the morning?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Yeah, good.
I don't know.
Sometimes
I'm
you
excited
get
about this
lucky
movie coming out. We get to see some
happen at like 12:01 on Eastern.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was 12:01. But anyway, just check it out regardless. But I want to thank you guys for coming on and blessing our podcast. And this is a very special moment for us. Our co-host is working right now, so she can't, other half guy can't be here. So we're going to say shout out to her, Rose. She's definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's a hoot.
Well, we're just going to go on order, starting with you, Mr. B. Harrison Smith. How have you been, for one?
I've been doing okay. Busy, staying busy. Doing all that I can to stay above water. I think these ladies understand that exactly as well too. Les is saying she's going to go drum up some business while on vacation. So I'm always trying to drum up business. So yes.
And if people don't know, you are also an author. What you got, like 6 books? 7?
My 7th is coming out on John Carpenter's They Live, on the making of They Live.
Okay,
and also John always felt that They Live was a middle finger to the Reagan administration. So I wrote about how also as well, I analyze as well with the making of the movie, Reagan's administration as well, and how his policies dovetailed right in with that movie and what John was trying to say.
Okay. You included a whole lot in this movie, man.
Yeah, we gonna get to that. We can't ruin it though. Ruin it for the people. Well, we'll try to talk around some things because we actually got to saw it early and I enjoyed it. Joe brought up a real interesting point about the ending, which we probably can't say. But,
no, don't say the ending.
Oh, we definitely can't talk about anything. But he drew a conclusion that I end up going back and watching. I was like, oh, okay, I can see that. But very good analysis by him. But B, also you got The Box, which we first met you on, which was one of our favorites. And you were one of our first guests.
I believe I was, yeah.
It's one of our first guests. So we always had that great connection, always kept in touch. So we appreciate you coming on and being here with us.
I'm always happy to be here.
Well, thank you. We also have Miss Big Les. Everybody should know who this is that I know.
The legend herself.
I feel like you've been in my childhood up until my adulthood forever. Because growing up watching Rap City.
We're both only still 25.
Of course, absolutely.
Yes.
Of course. And we watched Living Single in my house on the regular, on repeat. So just seeing you and your choreograph on that.
As well as Rap City.
So we appreciate you coming on. And also we have Miss Claudia Jordan. I got a little story.
No. World renowned.
You're right.
Go ahead and step that. World renowned.
I got a little story about Miss Claudia Jordan.
You do? What happened? What I do?
No, you didn't do anything.
Okay.
Or you did. Growing up, I always liked R&B. And if people don't know, I'm a big D'Angelo fan. And so one of his second singles came out, Me and Those Dreaming Eyes of Mine. And in walks in the second verse, this woman. And I'm like, as a young kid, I'm like, who is this young lady right here? And that's before the Instagram models. That's before you can go on and search somebody who played this in this video. And she's always been a favorite ever since. So we want to appreciate her stepping in and coming on, even though she's at the nail salon getting her nails done, being busy. We appreciate you guys coming on. So the movie is Trope.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard my story, Jordan.
Claudia,
Okay, I can't hear you guys, but yes, you can hear me.
I
Yes.
can hear you. Yep, we can hear you.
First off, I want to say gorgeous cast, y'all.
Yes.
Beautiful cast from top to bottom. Whoever picked you guys did a great job of pairing you all together. Your daughters actually looked like they could be your daughter.
So that was Harrison with his great genius in AI, graphics.
Yeah, we did a lot of cool modeling, AI and CGI modeling for them to make them look, back in teenagers, back in the 80s, that kind of thing. So
You didn't need
that
to
was
do
a lot of
much.
fun.
You didn't need to do much with
You
him.
didn't have to do much.
Yeah, you didn't have to do much.
Excuse my Wi-Fi connection. I went out when you were saying about the D'Angelo video.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
you just happened to walk in on the second verse, and as a young man, I was like, "Who is this beautiful woman?" And that's before the Instagram model times.
It was.
And
So-
look and see who it was.
The
So
good old days.
I think in a magazine, like, "Oh, that's the lady I saw in the video." And so
that was my first video of my life. I had just visited LA for the first time, got off the plane and went to the mall, and I guess they had a recast someone that was in the video. So they were just like looking for a girl, and someone came up to me and said, "Do you want to be in this video?" And of course I thought it was a scam. I'm like, okay,
course.
hopefully this isn't a porn shoot. Okay. And it was real, and it was my first video. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this, But
That was my
I will say this, back in our era, and I say our, like my and Leslie, Big Les's era, you had to really look the way you look in those videos. We didn't do a lot of makeup. We didn't do a lot of weaves. I don't even think we were even doing that back then. We were just, if you looked fine back then, you was fine in real life.
Right.
And I just want to shout out to her as well, because I
And
definitely
still fine today.
Still fine. We trying.
And natural.
I am not gonna play with y'all. Y'all are some gorgeous women.
Yes.
Hey, if I want a chance to say it to y'all directly, I'm gonna say it.
The camera loved them, so there's no doubt about that.
So I got a question. How long did it take you guys to film this film?
It was shot fast. I can say that. About 2 weeks. It took about 2 weeks to shoot it. Yeah, and there was a lot in it, as you had said. It was more than just showing up and just sticking them in a cabin. I mean, they're all over the hillside. They're in the woods. We had pumas up in the woods.
Bears.
Bears, yeah.
So how did this come about? How did you come about writing this? How did the storyline come about? I know you paid a lot of tribute to older films.
Yeah.
But how did you
watching this? I said is Bruce's fingerprint is all over this, because we've watched a few of your movies, and once you know how a director puts things together, you know what's coming.
The old horror film. So
yes, yeah, that's what I wanted. That's why the title is Trope, right? All the tropes are in there, including our three ladies who are final girls.
Right.
So that's the ultimate trope.
Right.
And the script came about. It was originally going to be shot in Georgia. I was going to shoot this separately in Georgia. Then the producers came to me and said, "We really like this. We'd like to do this for BET." And so we took it to California, and I just love packing it with all kinds of things. When Leslie is sitting at the campfire and she's talking about, it's time to tell the girls, our daughters, all about this. That's Ghost Story. And in fact, each of them borrows a line. Claudia, Leslie, and Karen all borrow a line, and that is, "This is the worst story we know, the worst thing that ever happened to us, the most awful thing."
I knew it was referencing something, but I couldn't quite point out what exactly it was.
Yeah, and I put all of that in there. I mean, Cochran, the doctor, is a direct nod to Halloween 3.
Right.
So we had Connell Cochran in Halloween 3, and what I wanted to create was, I feel, and I don't want to dominate, I want the ladies to talk. But it was just, I wanted to create something where people can throw back a couple beers, some wine, puff on a joint, and have a good time. That's what I wanted. It's a lot of action, a lot of movement.
Yes.
and a lot of jump scares. We have quite a few jump scares in it, but there are nods to everything from A Nightmare on Elm Street to Jason to Candyman.
Yeah.
It's all there, and that's the point. That's why it's called a trope. And it's not Cabin in the Woods, but it does look at what caused all these murders in the 80s.
Right.
And so we
Right.
kind of quantified that as, yes, something happened in the 80s, specifically around Generation X. This doctor may be at the center of it, and that these women have all been traumatized throughout their lives. The killer in the movie isn't really the monster. The monster is Cochran.
Right.
And he's haunted these three women all their lives. So, and he's impacted. I mean, Claudia's character. I don't want to give away the reveal, but what happens to her? I mean, she's barely hanging on mentally.
She was hell from scene one.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got to see it before us. I have not seen it yet. Did you like it?
I did. Listen, the thing about his movies, they go here, then they go here, and then the end scene will be like to make your jaw drop.
It was fun playing this character. I had a good time. It was kind of rough around the edges and salty and kind of like you said, I was hell. And then
Yes.
and fun fact, we did our stunts, like the
Yeah,
scenes where we, have our issues. We are doing them, like we're sliding down rocks. We're like doing our own stunts. So that
I'm pretty sure that was
something-
right up Les alley right there.
Oh yeah.
You already know I wanted to do more. I'm not afraid of heights. I swim like a fish.
Yeah.
I was ready to jump, fly, soar, roll, whatever.
Never a complaint from any of them. They were
That's
just kind of like, was that good enough? Do you need me to smash my head against a tree again? I'll do it. They were like that. And someone just asked on here what platform it's releasing on BET Plus
BET Plus.
on the 12th.
Tomorrow.
So, yeah, tomorrow. Yep.
See, y'all ain't us. Y'all ain't get to see it yet. I know y'all.
Yeah, we are seeing it, guys. Sorry.
Light flex.
So Les, how did you get involved with this project?
Well, I got a phone call from James DuBose. He runs the All Black Network, or in the Black Network, excuse me. And if you guys know some of his work, like he was the executive producer and director for like the Keisha Cole show on BET, the reality shows, and he's done that for a long time. And we had tried to work together like 15, 20 years ago. We were going to do a talk show together, and it just kind of didn't happen. And he called and he's like, I think I have the project for you. But he had to fight for me. They wanted some other reality people and stuff. And I was like, well, if that's what they want, then go ahead. I'm over the whole fight, especially like when it comes to dance as well. They want these little TikTok people who can only last for 30 seconds or a minute, but they can't handle an audition or, a 2-hour concert. And I'm just like, who are these people? You guys are so caught up on the numbers as opposed to the talent and the skill. And I was like, I've been on stage and in front of TV for the last 30 years. If that's who they want, then go on. He's like, no, I'm going to fight for you. I was like, bet. And so in between me getting the final okay, I was on the Rock the Bells cruise. I was doing a lot of the fitness and the dance stuff for the cruise, and the scripts were coming in. So as I was like, I couldn't party as much. I couldn't drink. I had to focus and hunker down. But I was like, now I'm coming in prepared so nobody can say anything. And then I just loved meeting Harris first time because he's like my 80s. I know you can't say the term spirit animal, but he's like my 80s twin.
We can say it on here. We don't care.
But to be politically correct. So we had so many references in common, which were really great. So I love having, so you don't feel old, when you have those conversations and you talk about the clubs and the New York scene and how things were in elementary school and all this other stuff. And his love for horror was just great. So peeling back the script and working with him too, because he's an actor's director as well. But for me, which is someone who is sensitive to the tone or the feeling or the emotion, or who gives you the freedom to explore in the character or deliver your lines in a different way. And I love that. So thank you, Harrison.
You're welcome. Thank
Question
you.
for you. Can you still do the dance from Living Single?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
remember? Okay.
Absolutely. Well, it was a freestyle, so I can kind of, look at it and kind of pick it up. But it was a freestyle. So and half of the chorus, I barely remember the time. or even like the Mary J. Blige stuff. But there are pieces that kind of come in and out of my frame. But I still tumble. I do trapeze. I'm still backflipping and stuff. So
I've got a question. What were you ladies' favorite scene to film? I know we can't give them too much, but there's always a scene that you enjoyed filming more than the other, and what was that for you two?
There's a scene. Well, I liked anytime all the girls were together. That was always fun because they were all great, and we really got along so well. Which is, I love when you're on a set like that, and like we still have our group chat going. We talk and big up each other and everything. This is really a sweet, great cast. My personal scene was, I can't give it away, but with the arrow, the thing that happens with the arrow.
Gotcha.
Thank you. That's all I'm
And
gonna say
Karen
about that.
Ward Ross is just joined.
Hello.
Yes,
Hey, how are you?
Karen.
All three are here. All three final
Hi,
girls
y'all.
are here.
all three final girls. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
We
you all.
Absolutely. I'm on my way to a yoga class in the sunflower field, but very anti-horror. But
Well, you never know what's in that field, do you?
that's
Right.
true. That's true.
Children of
You're
the
so right.
corn,
Y'all can
children of
see
the
it back
corn.
there.
Just
but
make
there
sure
it
that
is.
little thing with the screen don't pop up. You'll be all right.
Right,
Yeah, that's
right,
right.
right. I'll keep you posted.
So, Miss Claudia, how did you get involved with the project?
The same. So James DeBose and I, he's the one that gave me life after my radio show ended in Dallas. And he called me, and he had never really seen me act or anything before, but he fought for me as well to be on this. And I really wanted to do a good job because a lot of people don't know me as an actress. They know me as a talk show host and a professional shit talker, I would say. So, I feel like that's it.
Your character seemed kind of natural.
Yes, natural.
So
Especially
I
when she walked in the house, in the cabin.
So I really wanted to do well, So he looked out, and I was really appreciative of that. So, it's funny because ever since then, I have 3 horror films this year. Like I'm working on one right now, and I have another one that comes out on the 21st where it's like a thriller. So like I feel like
Got a whole new niche.
you kind
You carved
yeah,
out
it's
a
like
whole
I'm
new
like in
niche,
that genre now, and I have to give it all to Trope because before that no one's really checked with me like that. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. So it
And
was, thank you. It was exciting, and it's a new chapter for me. Like I said, I'm coming from the talk show space and reality, and I've done little things in acting, so I was a little bit insecure about it. So it felt good to see some of the finished product. I'm jealous that y'all have seen it all. We haven't. I'm gonna expect a link in my email after this.
You were awesome, Claudia. You did your
You
thing.
been in a horror before when you shot that little baby.
Oh, that my little movie. I know. Now every time I do a movie, my friends like, "You ain't killing no kids in this one, are you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not."
Just a kid. So, Miss Karen, how did you get involved with the project?
The same, Mr. James DeBose. He reached out to me.
You
Can you guys hear me okay?
You
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, so I was saying the same. James reached out. I read the script. I loved it. And before you know it, we were talking. And then what I also loved was Harrison was so great. We had like a maybe 45-minute conversation once I came on board and discussed the character. And yeah, it was just wonderful. But, like Claudia said, James looked out for me. So this was our first time working together. And this was a great project, and being on set was it was cold and exciting, and we were in the mountains, and every day we were driving up this windy ass road and coming home at 2-3 o'clock in the morning in this dark field and shit. It was just crazy. It was the craziest
That was horror in
experience.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh God, I'm not gonna die in a horror film, am I? But no, it was great. It was really special.
You weren't here when I said it earlier. I was like, this was a gorgeous cast. This is a gorgeous cast from top to bottom. They did a great job of putting you all together.
Oh, well, thank you. I think so too.
And where was this filmed at?
It was filmed north of Los Angeles a little bit, up by Topanga Canyon, going toward Malibu.
Okay.
Oh, but he's leaving out. It was filmed in December, which you think California is warm, not so much.
Really?
December 9th, it was so cold. We were like by the fire. Like I kept messing up on my lines. I was like,
yes.
like
It was cold. And that campfire scene was cold that night.
Yes, it was. And we shot there like what 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was
Yeah.
so crazy. And then when I did my part, because it was so cold, the actors could not sit there. So I had to remember Harrison, I had to just pretend
Act like
I'm
somebody.
Yeah, I turned over to what is called block shooting, just to get them to get all their lines, because I didn't want them freezing any longer. So I went right over to block and banged them out.
Yeah.
And then at one point somebody said, there's bears out here in these woods, and we were like,
What you talking about?
What?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot. It was an unforgettable experience for sure.
Yeah.
Other than the weather, did y'all have any other kind of hiccups in the road when it came to the filming?
Hiccups, just it's always tough to shoot on location, not in a sound stage with the elements under such short time. You have only so much. So when you're trying, there was one scene in the script that I really, really, really wanted, and the location, we had to change the location a couple times just to fine tune for the production, and we weren't able to shoot the scene that I wanted, where the killer is crossing a lake going underwater, and it didn't happen. So that's a hiccup. But I mean, it's the way that it goes. But otherwise, I mean, when you have a cast that's so easy to work with, Jazz and Asia as well. I mean, just so every day was. The nice part is every day was just very pleasant. We always had a nice time. We had a good time. We laughed. And I don't remember any kind of like personal hiccups or tension at all. I don't have that. And I've squared off against some celebrities in my time, but there was nothing like that here. It was just like they said, it was like a big family.
No diva attitude.
Yeah, I would love for us to do a series together, like for years, like friends. Like I think we'd all be part of each other's families and dinner and Thanksgiving and kids' graduations and stuff. It was just that kind of bond.
It really was. It really was.
Chemistry matters so much. Chemistry
It does.
They had chemistry. Yeah, the chemistry was all there.
And the ladies were very supportive. Like during that freezing scene, I was struggling with my lines. Like I just could not hold on to anything. Like they had to like kind of spoon feed me. I will give you that. And they were just like, I felt so bad. Like, cause if you mess up your lines, you feel like you're holding up the scene. People outside cold, and they're like, "Girl, do you not know you don't want that?" So they were just so supportive. And I don't know. Sometimes it happens. We just have like a little brain freeze, and that's what I had. I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get right that day.
It happens to everyone.
The weather do that to anybody.
Yeah, and Karen and I are dancers, are professional dancers, so it's really attributed if you go to rehearsal for 1,000 weeks and days and months and hours, and then the live performance, and you just kind of forget the choreography. You have
yes.
to that,
It happens, but you handle it like a professional, Claudia. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, the best get their lines. So
yeah, the scene is great. I know that Claudia said that BET released some footage today, some previews, and the table scene where she's talking with Leslie is really good, and so everybody seems very happy with what they're seeing. And most of all, I'm hoping it does well over the weekend. If it has a strong weekend, that's a very good sign.
I think it will.
I think it will because BET Plus has been a growing platform for some time now.
And for you cheapskates out there, it is a free trial on BET Plus. I'm the free trial king.
Go ahead and spend that little $20.
I'm the free trial king.
It'll be worth it.
If you get it, if you just want to get it just to see this movie, it is well worth it. If you want to keep BET Plus forever, after that to watch it again, that's fine.
And listen, y'all will not understand just how deep the message is until.
Don't put me onto it, and I can't say it. But
we're not going to say anything, but
maybe we'll come back Sunday and me and him will talk about it.
Well, we're going to talk about this. This will be discussed next Sunday.
Yeah, there's a lot to peel back. Like it's very layered, and that's the fun of it. Without it, I don't think it's dull. Like there's a lot in it, but we didn't make it boring.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But it's smart. That's what I like about it. It's smart. There's a lot of fun to it. And I just wanted to make a movie that, we all remember what it was like to turn on cable at 2:00 in the morning and see some kind of goofy horror film and go, the fuck is this? And then you just go, all right, well, I got to watch this now. I gotta watch this. And that's what we wanted. There's all kinds of shit going on in this, and stuff's going on, and people all have secrets, and it's all being unveiled, and they're all together. These three women are together, but you can tell that there's something off between all three of them. And
and you leave us no clues on what's going on until it's presented.
Yeah.
Like, usually you would leave us some breadcrumbs, but in this one you didn't. You just left us blank till we actually found out the crazy shit that has been going on.
Yeah.
And is now still going on.
Yeah, I love all the science stuff and the MK Ultra stuff. And the ending is a hell of a reveal when you find out. Like horror fans are going to be like, what? Like,
yeah,
I've been watching this.
Mastermind behind it all. So
I just want people to really support this. Like, I feel like a lot of times you don't really see a Black cast in horror. You don't see that so much. So thank you, Harrison, for doing this with us, especially because you didn't have to. And usually it's one Black person in the cast, and you already know who's gonna die first. And that's not the case. Well, it's just, it's nice to see. And I hope to see more of that in the, the African-American community, see more horror. Like, why not? And not just be the comic relief in a white film where, we go first, And I hope this inspires more filmmakers to do more, or Harrison to do other versions of this with us. I really hope
I was going to ask what's next.
Trope 2. That's what's next.
We're Harrison's Angels.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go.
Y'all about to make me miss my sunflower yoga.
Oh no, we appreciate
I'll show you the
coming on.
sunflowers.
My sunflower yoga. There is a sequel. I do have a sequel. And but when we were talking about what Claudia was just saying about, the cliches and all that, I deliberately broke the trope of the Black person dying right away.
Right.
And in fact, our first death is not Black. So I did that deliberately. Just do a little turn there. So
thanks, Harrison.
The opening
Black
is
Lives Matter.
you're gonna like that opening.
He's for the code.
That opening on the lake dock is really good. It's a good opening.
It is.
And shout out to Asia and Jazz. Like, Asia and Jazz, just beautiful. The camera loves them. Their faces are like angels, both of them. Just gorgeous and good, and just so good and so young.
They did their thing. Yes.
Shout out to Olivia's six-pack. Shout out to Olivia's six-pack, yo.
Yeah, she brought it. And you guys got to hear her sing. Her sing and Jazz rap. They are both skilled out. They are triple threats for real.
Both of them. And their chemistry, you would swear they knew each other all their lives.
That's what I got from this movie. It seemed like all you guys seemed like you knew each other. Like, if you were
at least have worked together.
Yeah, just focus on the movie. You'd be like, oh, they know each other from previously. Mm-hmm. So that's what I really enjoyed about it, just the family element of it in the beginning, and then where it went after that. But I really enjoyed the movie in that aspect. Yes. And I'm just realizing Miss Ward is from the game.
Yes, I am. And a lot of things.
I'm like sitting here like, it's a lot of things, because you also in Entourage too, which is one of my favorite series of them all.
Thanks, darling. Thank you. Monogamy, and Mind Your Business is out, and I have some good news coming up soon that I'll be able to share with you all. But thank you.
Okay.
She stays working. Yes, honey. What's that? Right. She was working.
Right? Yeah, it was what last year that we did this one. Huh? Yeah, November.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was right around November.
Those
When you do
sunflowers,
choke too, Harrison, can you put some sunflowers in it? For me?
Sure, we can do that. Look at all those.
Are you
Yeah.
in Los Angeles?
No, I'm in Vegas. I'll be
Okay.
in LA on Sunday, but working on
Shout out
another.
Vegas. That's my city. I'm coming back again.
Where's the Okay, sorry.
We have a new
About
guest
to
that joined the panel, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Hello.
I'm lost.
You got a whole nother panelist joined in, Midge.
Okay, I got it in. I think they're on mute.
And they're gone.
Okay. But definitely, so what's
See,
next?
right here is where Karen gets pulled into the sunflowers and we don't see her anymore. Right? Look at that.
Uh-huh. That sun goes down. It's a wrap, girl. Get out of there.
We don't want to make you late. Definitely don't want to. Oh, she's on mute.
Oh, we can't hear you.
The mic is muted.
I said I'm going to be downward dogging with sunflowers, and it's going to be epic.
We don't want to hold you up. We want to
you
thank
guys
you for coming.
Enjoy yourself.
And we're definitely going to do our best to promote this movie to the best of our ability.
Thank you.
Enjoy your yoga class. We don't want to hold you up.
Thank you, guys. I won't distract you. Thank you so much. I love all of my trope
Thank you for
family
coming in.
members. Thank you, Harrison.
We
Bye,
love
Claudia.
you.
Liz.
Have a good
And I'll
one.
see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I would like to know what is next for everyone.
Right.
Well, I mean, just for me real fast, I just had a script picked up that Anthony Hopkins is starring in. It's called The Eyes in the Trees. And and they're shooting it in Thailand next month. So,
Really?
yes.
I can
they're
extend my stay if you need another role.
There you go.
And, so I've got a couple other projects going on. I optioned the true story. You probably saw that on Twitter, but I have the true story of Thaddeus Phillips, who was a victim of the serial killer, the Bone Breaker. And I wrote a great script called Break that just, I think, is going to be heading into production pretty quickly on that one. And, trying to get some other projects going. I'm always moving. It's like a shark. You just keep swimming. You just have to keep going.
I understand.
And Miss Liz.
Miss Big Liz.
For me, I'll be actually going on the Rock the Bell cruise again, where I'll be teaching classes. So I'm doing all the fitness, cardio, choreography stuff. And, I'm going to be designing them where there's a tribute to like Fat Man Scoop and DJ Mr. C and all of that stuff. So yeah, Prince Marky D, and those are my friends and our legends in hip hop. Also been working with the Grammy Museum. Just did a hip hop block party where I curated a whole dance element, incorporating roller skating and crump and all these other things. And so now I'm going to be doing some stuff. They had a Rap City curation, but it was incomplete. It was only Tigger instead of the other 9 hosts on the show. And so I had to put my foot down and just be like,
same thing. We said the same thing. Liz was like, it's like a whole plethora of people that was left out of that whole situation.
Of course. Chris Thomas, the mayor, Joe Claire, Prince Dejour, everyone. So exactly. After I stomped my feet a little bit, they're gonna let me come in and kind of help morph it a little bit so we can be more inclusive. So between that and the Hip Hop Museum that's in the Bronx, I'm really trying to get curation for the dancers of hip hop, especially the 90s golden era, myself, the Fly Girls, DVD singers, in which case I'm moving into Harrison space where I'm working on, I am becoming a documentary director. So that is my next move and shopping some stuff.
I would like to formally ask for that interview once you get your documentary started.
Well, definitely. We love
Hey, I like to plant the seed early.
Done and done. I take all the love. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. And Miss Claudia, what is next for you?
That's so funny. I'm in the middle of a documentary as well. I'm investigating the
suspicious death of someone, and you will want to have this interview when it gets closer to fruition. We're about 3/4 of the way through. It's been an investigation that we conducted.
We would love to.
And I believe it's going to spawn an investigation.
Is that a she? That you're is it a she? That's
I'm going to text you. I'm
okay.
gonna text you.
Okay.
If that's an offer, we'll love to take that offer on having this interview.
Yeah, and just doing more. I just pitched a bunch of shows to a couple networks. James DuBose is the one that had me on Fox Soul for 5 successful years. I had the top 3 shows on the network, so I'm forever grateful to him. And then also bringing me to be on this amazing project and introducing me to Harrison. So I just want to continue to shout him out for what he's done. And I'm looking for another home, another talk show. I miss that, but I'm leaning more into the political realm. I was at the convention. I'm going to DC tomorrow for the Black Caucus weekend, and I'm finding my voice and my space in that area because I'm very opinionated when it comes to politics. Yeah. And there's a lot. I feel like there's a space there for me. So, and more acting roles coming in, but so I want to do the acting and the talk shows at the same time, and also writing and producing as well. So,
and you also did a couple guest spots on the Breakfast Club, also, right?
I was in the running with that, and that was like a dream job for me. But you know what? I'm a true believer in what's meant for me will be, and I'm just grateful that I had about 10 times I was there because that entire audience got to see what I could do. And I'm sure there's someone out there that's watching that's going to say, you know what, should be great for our show, and we can just build from there. Like, I'm gonna get, and I'm happy for Jess. I think it's fantastic for her.
I sent you a message on Instagram. Don't look at us like I'm crazy or nothing. I just want to lock in that interview. So,
Let me see.
You planting to see early.
Listen. I'm a firm believer of planting seeds and watching them grow, having things come into fruition. So,
exactly.
I don't mind.
No, I'm okay. Manifestation is so real. Not to get all LA crystals on you, but almost every single opportunity I've gotten in the past 12 years since I kind of changed my life around by like just reprogramming myself to say, I always get it instead of I never get it. I never get the guy. It's always going to go left. I stopped doing that. And every single opportunity, including this one, came to me without trying. No, just not like in a disrespectful way, but it just like it was brought to me, And I feel like when
the universe knew you were ready. The universe knew you were ready. And as long as you do the work behind the scenes, all the things that you ask for are coming your way.
Listen, this is so true because when Midgie first came to me with the idea of starting this podcast, I'm like, yo, do you know the potential that this brings? Do you know who we could possibly be interviewing one day? And look at us here interviewing y'all right now.
Look at God. Won't he do it?
It's just something that happened during COVID. So I was like, hey, let's just.
Y'all started during COVID?
Yeah, we was like, let's just talk about TV shows.
I mean, I had already been previously doing my own show for a couple years, so I was honored whenever he considered bringing me in. So that just lets you know that your hard work is paying off.
Are you guys in LA?
No, we're in South Carolina.
I am in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I'm closer to Charlotte, but right on the border, South Carolina and North Carolina. So.
Okay, Harrison, my reception was really bad before I hung up, but I heard something about a sequel.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the answer is yes, there is a sequel. There is a sequel, and even it could either be a sequel or a prequel. It could work either way.
And, I think a prequel would be dope because it's so many layers that you can hit with that, man.
Yeah, you could go off in so many different directions from this movie.
The backstory and why everybody became the way they did.
And especially at the end when things are revealed.
Right.
I don't want to spoil it for people that are listening right now, but the reveal is like if it's one of those moments that's not the time to get up and go to the bathroom when the reveal comes.
It's definitely not. He and I were texting back and forth while watching it, and I couldn't figure out the direction. I'm like, where's this going? Where's this going? Where's this going? And he stopped, but I kept going. So when we got to the ending, I was like, yo.
So I paused because I was doing something, and then he's like, "Oh, you got to finish now." So I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So
it's one of those things. I just did a podcast recently on nostalgia and how it's killing film because we're tripping over all this nostalgia, which really I think the reason why we're embracing so much nostalgia in our movies as of late is because the ones they're making now just aren't all that good.
Oh, it's a lot of remakes.
Right. So all we're doing is trying to recapture what was already done. What we did here is not nostalgia. What we did is borrow on all these different horror hooks. And you can watch this in the present day and not even have to understand the old way of some of these tropes. So it's a fresh story at the same time. And what I love is that the monster is almost what Hitchcock used to call a MacGuffin. And that is, you know, these women are being pursued by this thing, but it's really just an extension of this man that has just tortured them all their lives and wrecked their lives. I mean, he's destroyed their lives. And that's what I like about it. And at the end, the reveals, I love the reveals. It's like an onion, you know, when you start just peeling things away and you're sitting there going, wait a minute, oh, holy shit, now they're doing this. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to make a film where, you know, they'll yell at Leslie and Claudia and Karen and say, what the hell are you doing? Why would you do that? You know, like that's what you want.
I was trying to figure out, like, this ain't revealing. I was like, okay, why the fuck y'all hiking?
Yeah.
Why are 5 gorgeous black women hiking with only one pew pew?
Right. Right.
I knew shit was going left. I was like, oh
yeah.
Isn't that funny? You're like, yeah, 5 friends go into the woods right after they heard about a murder, or you know.
For so long.
Yeah, well, I mean, even Asia says to Karen in the opening, you know, she goes, why a cabin in the woods? Like right there, we're already embracing it. You know, it's like, there it is.
Even like when the driving thing, when she was like, you're going to need to learn how to drive stick one day.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on.
Okay.
I haven't seen a stick shift car in a long time, but
foreshadow.
That stick shift scene is brutal at the end.
I was ready too. I can drive a stick. So my first 3 cars were stick shift. I was like, yes.
I can't. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't.
I like to share a funny thing from the casting process.
Please do.
So, you know, when you get the breakdowns of like what your character is, and Harrison, this is, I think I mentioned this to you, it was kind of funny. My character was like cigarette smoke, chain smoking, former groupie, looking like he's out, like, you know, seen better days. I was like, damn, everyone was like beautiful, early 30s, young mom, or whatever. And mine's like cigarette smoking, rough around.
They put a full
but it made it like fun because it's like I started my career in beauty, right? Like beauty pageants and videos and everything. So, and it was good to like not have to be like, it wasn't about that, you know, like I could be like, you see the lines in your face and you just be like, whatever. And it just, I felt like that was fun to do that. I think I enjoy those roles even more than being like someone's girlfriend or just like some prissy thing. Like she was right on the edges. She don't do some shit. She's doesn't like kids. She's like, F them kids. Why you bring them up?
Oh, definitely.
F them kids.
Huh?
Liz, you were the ultimate mother.
You know what?
Claudia plays a good hot mess. Thank you.
I am. My inner hot mess was like, come on out.
You and kids don't get along in these movies. I'm starting to see.
I have another one where I don't kill kids, but they're like teenagers, but they deserve it. So yeah. Listen, this is my thing about kids, and people be so sensitive about it. I'm like, kids are just miniature asshole adults. Like, you know, you don't like people that are adults. You don't care about them, but because they're younger.
Right.
Well, that's
a baby roach. Are you not gonna kill a baby roach? You're gonna kill that baby roach.
Yeah, that's kind of what I caught hell for when I made Where the Scary Things Are, because in Where the Scary Things Are, all those kids are assholes. When Claudia's saying "fuck them kids," that's what you're saying.
Yeah,
by the end of this
I was saying "fuck them kids" halfway through the movie.
Yeah, those kids are assholes. And I had this one reviewer. It was funny. We were in Massachusetts on vacation, and this one review came out on it. And it's like, oh, Harrison Smith just did this monster movie for Lionsgate. And, you know, what I have to give Harrison points for is he made all these kids really unlikable
Really?
and that they're not like the Stranger Things kids. And then I'm not kidding you, like 30 seconds later in the review, he goes, but the problem with the movie is these kids aren't like the Stranger Things kids. I'm like, well, what the fuck you want?
Do you
Like-
want to be or not to be?
You just gave me the points. Now you're taking them away because, and then I had somebody write, you know, oh, he made the amateur mistake. I love that. I'm an amateur, 13 films, but I'm an amateur.
Right.
Okay.
Because I made all unlikable characters. And the thing is, that's the point, because those kids were inspired by the Slender Man stabbings. And that's where the story came from for what happened to that poor girl when those two girls took her out into the woods and wanted to sacrifice her to the Slender Man. I mean, that's a brutal, horrible story. And for me, it's like, what is going through a kid's head to think, yeah, this is a good idea. Yeah, let's take our friend.
Be honest. Who can be more cruel than kids? Think
Kids
about
are
it.
evil.
Children are
Brutally
horrible.
honest.
Old people who don't care.
No,
Yeah.
That
That's
Well, and also, which I've mentioned on this podcast before, this is predominantly an upper middle class white kid problem. That's what this is. Look, we just had another school shooting. That didn't happen in the hood. That's not a black kid picking up a gun and doing that. There's another upper middle class white kid, or it's a white trash kid, and they're walking into the school and they're opening fire. We're not seeing this in the inner cities. The Columbine kids came from one family, I believe, had a $500,000 a year income.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like we've got a problem and nobody wants to talk about this problem. Nobody wants to talk about it at all. And where the scary things are does, because you guys, I mean, if you've seen the movie, you know, you guys saw the movie, that the monster is the issue. Like, even when the monster approaches those kids and where the scary things are, right, the monster could be asking for help. What is their answer? Beat the shit out of it with a bat.
And capture him and
Right. And then they beat it and they shoot it and they torture it. So, and that's why even with Trope, we find even at the end that we have these two daughters and, you know, they were raised up right and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, they'll kill. If they need to kill, they'll kill.
Absolutely.
And there's always a duality to people. Like, all three girls at first come across, oh, we were all victims. We were all victims, but they're really not. They will fight.
The scene where Claudia was explaining what happened to her child.
That's a good scene.
Like I said, F.
we now know.
See, if I was success, you know what I mean? All this could have been avoided.
Yeah. Well, and Claudia says that how many times to Leslie and to Karen, that you should have killed your kids.
Right.
These kids should have never made it past the womb. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
I slipped up, got stopped on me.
He calls them monsters.
Yes. So, question, Miss Big Les, do you have like a dream role? We ask everybody, all our guests this on.
Absolutely.
So, is there like a dream role you want?
For sure. I have an affinity for all things Pam Grier. And even though I grew up as a gymnast, it never resonated to me like, bitch, you are a superhero. You soared through the air and tumbling. And, you know, a lot of people don't know that I went to college on a full scholarship and all that stuff. So I was a gymnast for real. Before Simone and Gabby and all that other stuff, there were very few. So my dream would be a female action hero, like somebody who can actually do their own stunts and come with like some meaty stories and still have sex appeal. And, you know, that's my one box I haven't checked off yet. Harrison.
Gotcha. Miss Claudia, what about you?
For years, I wanted to play FloJo, and I was doing all this kind of research, but then I heard Tiffany Haddish is doing that. So I was like, I waited too long. I was a track star all through high school, college, ever since I was 12 years old. But my other dream one is, and this is someone I spoke to about it, is the Jane Kennedy story. Ever since I was a little girl, I was told I look like her. I met her, and you know, she has her background in pageants and modeling and sports reporting, and I did some of that as well. And I met her and we had a meeting, and she's like, of all the people that told me that they want to play me, you favor me the most. And like, we kind of been keeping in touch over the years, but I've been told this since I was 10 years old, like before I even knew who she was. And then I had no idea, like, thought that I'd get into the entertainment business, and just getting to meet her and taking a picture with her. I mean, I just feel like she was so, you know, she was one of the first black woman to do like Monday Night Football and get the interviews with Muhammad Ali when no one else could get them. And she was gorgeous, and she was the first black woman to win Miss Ohio. And then she was in Playboy, and then her husband ruined her life releasing the sex tape. And, you know, like, I just feel like that's a relevant story now, because now in 2020, the 2020s, people are getting on the come up on sex tapes. And that's a time when, like, that would ruin you. And
right. They would shame you for that.
Yeah, she went away, and I just feel like she doesn't get honored the way she should, as far as like being groundbreaking in her era. Like, she should be mentioned with the greats. She should be mentioned with all of the greats. And I just want to give her flowers while she's alive. So Jane Kennedy, you know, I've been saying this for years. I want to do your story. I really do.
I would love to see that.
Well, we're gonna speak that into fruition.
Yes.
I just need a stunt double for the sex scene, though. You know, but I'm lazy. Okay.
That's all right. Once the ink dries, we'll be like this. Right.
That's
There
true.
you go. There you go. Well, we want to thank all of you guys for just coming on and blessing our platform with this interview. We enjoyed the movie. We think people out there are really going to enjoy this horror film right before the Halloween season, so it comes in at good time. Like I said, it's on BET Plus. If you don't have BET Plus, you can either get it or you can try the free trial. It comes out tomorrow. E, what's next for you?
What was that?
What's next for you?
What's next for me?
Yes.
Well, I just shot another one for BET called GPS. So it's in the editing phase. But then, like I said, I have Break coming up as well. I do have a sequel for Trope, sequel/prequel. So I would love to be able to put that right into motion. It's going to depend on how well this does, right? They're all going to be looking. So the downloads, they'll be looking at the downloads. Hopefully it debuts at #1 on BET. That's what I would love. I said earlier today to the ladies, we have a nice, it's very nice. They have a Trope family text thread, which we've been all staying in touch since last year.
Yeah.
And I've been sending them.
Yeah, y'all. The chemistry's obviously there, and it shows through you guys acting in camaraderie on camera. You know what I mean? So
yeah, can I just tell you though, the chemistry with even the crew, hair, makeup, gaffers, electras, like the DPs, everybody just had a love and a reverence and respect and humor towards each other, like, and care. It was perfect.
Yeah, we really don't give enough credit to like James, Kevin, Damien. Damien is like a force of nature. I love watching Damien work. I love it. Damien is a character. Like, Damien should have his own reality show. That's how I feel. I would watch that shit all the time. Just truly a character. And most of all, I love that he has such a gift for story, and he knows what he wants. I love hearing him. The crew was wonderful. Our DP, Matt Macer, everybody was just terrific. I'll tell you, that crew, what a wonderful crew. I know I'm not ass kissing here because we lost power on the one night. Fuse blew and it knocked everything out. We're remote. These guys, they tackled it. We were back up and shooting in 10 minutes with full lights.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
And that's how these guys are. And ladies as part of that. So the makeup crew, the hair crew, Jason, everybody on wardrobe. I mean, wardrobe was just so easy to work with. Yeah. Special effects. I mean, what a wonderful set of departments, because every day I visit all the departments. And you make sure at the end of the night you say thank you and good night to everybody as well too.
That matters.
That's important, because everybody's working their ass off. And even though you don't see it sometimes, you feel it when we go action and everybody's in place and the hair is in place and continuity has, oh, wait, you're forgetting this earring here. Everything ran like a well-oiled machine. And that's because of the producing team and that entire crew from DP, gaffers, everyone, set medic, everyone was terrific. And the production office, Jared Safier. I mean, you know, Jared's an Emmy Award winner as well too, and that's what I wanted to say. I'm hoping these ladies. Horror is always frowned upon. It's like the redheaded stepchild of film, but it would be great to see somebody get an Emmy nod at least out of this.
Right.
The performances, I think, are that strong.
All that fake blood we had to put in our mouths. Someone better get something out
Oh
of it.
man.
That stuff is disgusting. You
Oh,
guys.
you had it worse, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you see, I was like,
It's all over me too, and it's like it's hard. It's so we sacrifice for y'all. So y'all better watch Trope. Make sure you tell
Please,
all your friends.
well, we will do our absolute best on our behalf to make sure we help get you guys to number one.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you.
We want to thank you guys for blessing our platform.
Absolutely.
We're excited for everything you guys have coming up. Keep us in mind if you ever want to just come through.
I'm inboxing everybody. Y'all gonna get used to me. I don't care. I'm inboxing everybody.
Me and B always stay in contact, so I'm not worried about that. But hey, if you guys want to just shout us a holler and say, hey, I got this coming up. Mind if I stop through? It's no problem at all.
I miss Rose. I really wish she was here.
Yeah, she does work. She does. She's one of the school's trainers.
Yeah,
so like
sports
a game
physical therapy. So
so
She is terrific.
they had a game. So she's like, oh man, she's like, I hope it's 9 because our game just started for a quarter at 7. I'm like, it's at 8. She was like, oh, okay, well. So she popped on and showed her face. So hopefully next time she'll be here.
absolutely.
Give her our love. Thank you all so much,
Yes,
Harrison.
yeah.
I love you. Claudia,
Love you
safe
back.
travels. Give them hell in DC, girl.
Protect the cats and dogs.
Yes.
I cannot believe that, man. Oh, I cannot believe I used to be friends with him, by the way.
Hey, you never know who they are till they really show you who they are.
Yeah, that's it.
That man is insane.
Thank you, fellas, so much.
Well, be safe on your trips. Be
Thank
safe
you.
at the Capitol, because you know there's some crazies out there. But just thank you guys, and we
Thank you all.
Okay.
All right, tomorrow is it. It debuts tomorrow. Let's hope we're number 1.
BT Plus Trope tomorrow, September 12th.
BT Plus Trope tomorrow.
And if you are watching this post-production or post-live, we need you guys to go subscribe to us on all social media platforms, 2.5 Guys Podcast. And while you're at it, look up Trope and let's push this to number 1, you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for popping in, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Good.